But first, as we come on the air here at about 20 minutes after 11, we bring you some late breaking news just into the WHAS11 newsroom. One man is dead after a car crash earlier this evening happened in the Algonquin neighborhood of West Louisville. According to LMPD, a Dodge pickup truck ran a stop sign at the intersection of Lee Street and McCloskey Avenue at about 7:40 p.m. tonight. The woman who drove the truck then crashed into a Ford Mustang that was turning onto the roadway, according to police, killing the Mustang's driver. This accident caused the vehicles then to crash into an unoccupied and parked vehicle nearby. Louisville Metro Police still investigating the crash. However, there are charges pending in connection with the accident tonight. Overcrowding at a popular 2-year-old JCPS middle school has up to 90 students being told you may have to go to another school. It's another top story for you here on the WHAS 11 night team. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. A little late tonight. I'm Doug Proffitt. Some Echo Trail middle schoolers could be heading to Crosby Middle School. That's in Douglas Hills. The district expects Echo Trail to be way over the top. Get this, at 133% capacity in just 2 years from now. So they're now proposing the move over to Crosby. WHAS 11 night team's Alex Dieterer and photojournalist Levi Hammer talked to incoming Echo Trail middle schoolers tonight. They say the district did not give them enough time to prepare.
Sad, angry.
The words used by Stouffer Elementary School 5th grader Wyatt Rechtenwald to describe how he feels about the potential of not going to Echo Trail Middle School with his friends next year.
Over the past 5 years, I've made probably over 50 friends, probably more than that, and it's sad just like to lose them all.
JCPS is looking to rezone Echo Trail Middle School and move nearly 100 kids 8.5 miles down the road to Crosby Middle. Echo Trail is expected to be at 133% capacity by 2027. Crosby is only at 76% capacity. The district saying it's because of growing populations of 6th graders zoned for the school.
But, this impacts my son.
Parents impacted by the proposed rezoning, like Wyatt's dad, Brian, shared their frustrations with JCPS leaders at the first listening session held for the proposal.
He had his heart set with being with his friends, and it's tough when you're in middle school and you're trying to make friends, and sense of community is huge.
The school board was supposed to vote on the rezoning last week, but was postponed by board members to hear from the community. Parents now saying the district didn't give them enough heads up about the decision after JCPS Chief of Schools Robert Moore said the district started the process of looking at rezoning 18 months ago, saying the delay in part came from a change in superintendent leadership.
You know what Dr. Yearwood's stepping into, so priority number one was the budget deficit. It has been a relentless effort of trying to get this to you in a timely fashion, and we probably failed at that, and we'll definitely own that.
Many parents pleading with the JCPS board to not vote on this proposal.
But is there a consideration to delay this a year given the incredibly short notice?
We've waited a year too long. We should have done this last year.
Could we have kept the community abreast of, hey, here's where we are with this next proposal, here's the next thing? Absolutely, I think we should have.
JCPS board member Taylor Everett said the only decisions they're left with are to rezone or to build a $100 million new school to fit the growing student population.
It's a lot worse, in my opinion, to have to delay this. I feel like we need to make a vote sooner rather than later on this.
The decision now left in the board's hands. In Louisville, Alex Dieterer, the WHAS 11 night team on your side.
This all, of course, coming as the school district faces that massive $188 million budget deficit. JCPS has said the rezoning will only impact incoming 6th graders and students who are new to the area. By the way, if you couldn't make it to tonight's session, there's another one going to be held tomorrow night at Eastern High School, again from 6 to 7 p.m. It'll be held in the multi-purpose room there, again, of Eastern High School. We have a breaking news update to a story that was developing during our live 6:30 newscast on WHAS 11 Plus, our app. 4 people treated for injuries tonight after an ambulance hits a car and then crashes right into a downtown school building. Here's the scene. It happened just before 5 tonight at First and Ali. Police say an ambulance was taking a patient code 3 to the hospital with its lights and sirens on. Police say when the ambulance entered the intersection, it collided with a Nissan sedan. That caused the Louisville Metro ambulance to hit the side of the J. Graham Brown School. At the time, a person standing on the sidewalk was also hit. One EMS crew member and the patient were taken to the hospital in another ambulance. The driver of the car and the person standing on the sidewalk also went to the hospital. Police say no one's injuries were life-threatening. JCPS told us no students or staff members were injured today. And another massive crash in East Louisville at the start of rush hour this afternoon, just after 4 p.m. A wreck involving at least 5 vehicles tonight and blocked several traffic lanes right here on the Waterston Expressway eastbound. This was between Breckenridge Lane and the Browns Lane overpass. LMPD says it started as one accident and then another accident occurred. 3 people were taken to the hospital and are expected to survive. The cause of this crash there on the Waterston Expressway remains unknown. And we have new details tonight after an early morning mobile home explosion in southern Indiana left a woman dead and 2 other people injured. Tonight, we now know the name of the woman who has died. This is all new information according to the victim's family. Shannon Denton told WHAS11 the woman who died is Barbara Bolin. Denton says Bolin's husband and her son were able to get out, but Bolin was not able to leave the mobile home. Salem Fire Chief Mark Day says the fire happened just after 1:30 a.m. on Rainier Drive. When crews got there, the mobile home was already halfway engulfed in flames. Bolin died at the scene, while the 2 others that were able to escape were taken to local hospitals. Later today, Denton shared with us that Bolin was fighting a lung disease and was on hospice care.
We didn't expect her to go this way, not at all. So everybody is just, I guess, like in an awe moment, like what's going on, because we did, we expected the other way and we was prepared for that, but we wasn't prepared for this.
As for the investigation, Chief Day says it was not a natural gas explosion and assured residents that there is no ongoing threat to the community. Authorities are still working to determine the exact cause of the mobile home blast. New tonight on the night team, Louisville Democrat Charles Booker announces tonight that he will not be running for the job of Louisville mayor in 2026. Booker had been talked about as a possible contender against incumbent Democrat Craig Greenberg in the May primary. Remember, this will be the first nonpartisan mayoral election for Louisville since a change in Kentucky law. In his statement, Charles Booker expressing strong support for other progressive leaders, specifically naming Councilmember Shamika Parrish-Wright as someone for the mayor's race. When asked if she saw Booker's statement tonight, Parrish-Wright told me in a text, quote, "I saw that and was surprised, keeping my options open," end quote. Booker is a former Kentucky lawmaker who also ran for U.S. Senate in 2020. A Southern Indiana police officer now under investigation for allegedly driving under the influence of alcohol. Today, Jeffersonville police said Austin Shane was arrested around 1 a.m. on Sunday. Shane was a probationary patrol officer for Jeffersonville. According to court documents, he was off duty at the time he was pulled over and arrested. Shane is charged with operating while intoxicated with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.15 or greater. He had only been with Jeffersonville for a little more than 8 months. He was hired back on February 14th of this year. Shane has been placed on immediate unpaid administrative leave. Jeffersonville police say the investigation remains ongoing and that they will take appropriate action once all the facts are known. Tonight, a section of a well-traveled downtown Louisville street is down to 1 lane for emergency sewer repairs. Market Street between 3rd and 4th by the Convention Center has been narrowed for the MSD repair work. They expect this work to take about a week. MSD confirmed that the sewer services will not be disrupted during this work. MSD also points out that many of its sewer lines are 75 years or older, and many of MSD's lines have been in operation for 75 years, 43 miles made of brick. It looks like your LG&E and Kentucky utility bills are going to get bigger. A key step of approval today for their recent rate increase request. This is a story we've been following closely for you. In a statement, LG&E and KU expressed that they understand any increase to customers' bills is impactful and not a decision they take lightly, and that the agreement would allow them to enhance service for their customers. Under the new settlement agreement reached with key stakeholders like the Kentucky Attorney General, Lexington and Louisville governments, and the Sierra Club. Kentucky Utilities customers will see an increase of $9 per monthly bill. LG&E residential electric and gas customers will see a $5.04 increase for electricity and an $8.10 increase for natural gas. Utility customers all over Kentucky voiced their concerns over the request, like a mother from Moorhead who told us she's worried about more expenses.
We could probably pay $18 a month extra right now, but that comes at the cost of what can we provide for our son? What can we provide in his extracurricular activities? What can we provide in savings for our household?
Before asking families like mine to pay more, Kentucky Utilities should demonstrate a stronger commitment to reducing costs.
These rate changes are set to take effect coming up this January. The agreement was filed today with the Kentucky Public Service Commission for approval. Now, under the agreement, LG&E and KU commit to not increasing base rates again until at least August 1st of 2028. Earlier today, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear announcing an extra $9 million in state money in a move to continue feeding seniors across Kentucky. The senior meal program should be able to restore most of the services that were cut back in recent weeks with the brand new money. But he can only guarantee this through next June. In the same news conference, the governor talking about how the current shutdown is now impacting the 600,000 Kentuckians who use SNAP benefits. The Trump administration has ordered states to hold these benefits for next month. Beshear called for the federal government to figure out a solution, adding that food security is a nonpartisan issue. In Indiana, Hoosiers are facing the same SNAP deficit, and they were also told by the federal government there was not enough money to fund the 600,000 Hoosiers who rely on the program, which makes up 10% of Indiana's population. Funding will continue through October, but will end on November 1st. If you experienced issues with your favorite app today, you're not the only one. Amazon had a global web outage today, and we have more details about it coming up next.
And here's a look at today's almanac. For Louisville, we started off in the 40s, topped out in the upper 60s, and we are tracking some cooler days and nights for the second half of the work week. A full check of your 7-day forecast is coming up after the break. Here's today's Kentucky Lottery jackpots. Mega Millions, $650 million. Powerball, $304 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million Kentucky students.